I know what you're thinking. The new album, Scarlet by Doja Cat, has only been out for about 30 minutes, and I'm dropping this video on YouTube. I'm claiming that I can decode the album and tell some hidden meanings. How is that possible? This has got to be some clickbait, right? Well, in all honesty, I recorded this yesterday. It's about 24 hours until the record drops right now when I'm recording this. And I am going to review the album track by track in a few hours. I've set aside all day to do that, and I'm gonna get it done. If you want to see a track by track breakdown, hit the subscribe button now, and I'll have one out for you. But I've got a story to tell, and I've got some deep meanings that I've already figured out that I want to get off my chest. 2 weeks ago, it was a night like any other. I was down in my kitchen for a midnight snack. I guess that in America, it was about 12 a.m. I live in the Philippines. So I get on my phone and I'm checking out my YouTube stats and I see this huge spike in the numbers. So I was like, whoa, where is that coming from? And I go and I check my comments and I see that I'm getting tons of comments about how Doja linked my video on her Instagram. She put this picture in her Instagram stories and that link led to my video. My heart stopped. I stopped breathing. I was freaking out. I told my wife, like, look at this. And this whole experience was the most humbling, rattling, awesome, amazing, terrifying thing ever. I've got to thank Doja Cat from the bottom of my heart for this awesome experience in my life. Being noticed by one of my heroes, I really, really appreciate that, and it's like a dream come true. But at the same time, I realized that I needed to make a really good album breakdown for Scarlet. You know, because Doja Cat is potentially watching this video right now. Hi, Doja. So I can't make, like, total trash, right? So since that fortuitous night, this album has been stuck in my head. When I wake up in the morning, I hear, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I hear that pretty much all day long, and and on top of that, I've been reading. I've been trying to be a good boy and find a way to break this album down perfectly, you know? I've been thinking, I've been pondering. I knew that I could take the hidden meaning that I found in this video deeper. If you didn't see this video, essentially, in this video, I said that Doja Cat's 3 music videos from her Scarlet era are telling a story. Attention is about how Doja Cat saw herself and others as wearing masks. Also, when something in us is wearing a mask, and that thing also feeds on attention, what would that thing be that wants attention so bad and is like the mask that we wear? It's called the ego. So attention is about how Doja Cat saw herself and others wearing masks. We see these masks and distortions throughout the video. The fans are distorted, the people on the street are wearing masks, and even Doja Cat in the thumbnail looks distorted. And then Doja Cat says, I'm naked. As she says this, she shows the Scarlet alter ego, which has no clothes on. I said that essentially the Scarlet alter ego is her vehicle to show her true self under the mask of ego that she perceives in all the people around her and in herself. Scarlet is representing her true self. Now, to explain why Scarlet looks scary, I took a Jungian concept. This is called the shadow self. Basically, Carl Jung is a famous psychologist who said that for us to be our true selves, we need to reintegrate our shadow selves. The shadow is made up of all the things that we have declared in our minds to be not okay. To be our true selves, we need to confront all of those things and reintegrate them into ourself. But this isn't just on the level of a person. Carl Jung also talked about the collective unconscious. We as a society, we as humanity in general, in order to become pure, need to reintegrate all of the things that we have cut out from ourselves and said are not okay. Now at this point, you might be like, boy, that's a reach. But remember that Doja Cat linked to this video in her Instagram. So I think I'm onto something. So to repeat, the reason why Scarlet looks scary in this music video and is covered in blood, and then later in Demons is represented by a demon, and so on. It's because when we try to take our mask of ego off and we see our true self, we're going to be confronted by the things within us that we have made not okay. We're going to have to come face to face with all of the things that we have cut off from our true self so that we can reintegrate them, not just on a personal level, but on a level of society. It's important to remember that. Now keep listening, because if you have seen those videos, I promise that I've unlocked a deeper layer to this Scarlet thing. But I need to give some more background first. And remember, I will have a full track-by-track breakdown coming within the next 12 hours, so please subscribe if you want to hear about all of that. I'm even going to eat balut when I review the song Balut and explain the hidden meaning in that one. In Paint the Town Red, Doja is seen wearing red clothes. In this scene, she is depicting someone biblical. She is depicting the Whore of Babylon. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to Stargazer up here, who made me remember that the Whore of Babylon has another name. Now, I was aware of this before, but I didn't start really thinking about this idea until he brought it up, so I wanted to shout him out. The Whore of Babylon has another name. What do you think it is? It is Scarlet. She is the Scarlet Woman. In the Bible, the Whore of Babylon represents a false idol that comes in the end times, in the last book of the Bible, Revelations. A lot of people are going to say that she sold her soul to the devil, and that's why she's depicting the Antichrist spirit here. But when you take into account what I said in the last video, see if you can follow me on this alternative interpretation. Because you see, the Whore of Babylon, as I said, has another name. It is the Scarlet Woman. So this name has significance personally to Doja because she's seeing Scarlet as representing her true self. But it also has biblical significance because it's someone that we can see before the end of the world. So I started thinking about these two things. The Bible, Carl Jung. The Bible, Carl Jung. And then, gloriously, it hit me. To get the true interpretation of why Doja Cat is representing the Scarlet Woman and using Scarlet to represent the inner demons that we face when we go after the true self, we need to combine Jungian philosophy and biblical interpretation. So you know what I did? I searched for a book that was a Jungian interpretation of the Bible. And I'm telling you guys, this was the key. And what I'm going to unlock here is the secret meaning of Scarlet for you. This is incredible. The book I found was called Archetypes of the Apocalypse, a Jungian study of the Book of Revelations. I expected to see some connections here, but no. This was everything. This explains Doja Cat's whole premise for the album. In chapters 17 and 18 of Kordik's book, we can see the meaning of Scarlet from a Jungian perspective. She calls Scarlet a degraded version of Venus. Venus was a carrier of sacred life energy, and that is what she meant to ancient healthy Rome. However, in Revelations, we can see that everything feminine, such as earth, nature, the body, and matter, underwent a depreciation after Rome fell. What we can think of here is like witch hunts. We can think of how women were not allowed in places of power in the past. We can think of the patriarchy, and we can think of ways that women are treated still today in this society. How when a woman does something on her own accord, such as cut her hair short, she is subjected to the harshest, most judgmental words. Kordik writes, "Let me repeat because this is so important. This obscure alchemical text," and she's talking about the Book of Revelations when she says that, "is foreshadowing the modern task of assimilating all of the contents that have been relegated to the shadow and have been considered despicable in the Christian dissociation." So, Christian dissociation, this means how in Christianity there are things that are okay and there are things that aren't okay. But in Jungian philosophy, we have to take the things that are not okay and we have to find a way to put them back into us with the things that are okay. That's the reintegration to find the true self. So if you ask, why is Doja showing demons? Why is she acting in a sexualized manner? And so on. It is because she is bringing up the aspects of existence that have been relegated to the shadow of our existence as humans. She is having us confront these difficult images as they must be faced and reintegrated in order to... what? What's the end goal here? Well, let's read on. The collective psyche is eating the peacock's flesh and drinking lion's blood, or in the imagery of Revelations, it is eating the disgusting filth of her fornications. And as the old systems of values collapse, as we are seeing go on in Hollywood, with all of the uproar about Lil Nas X, or Sam Smith, or Doja Cat, when the systems of value collapse, all that has been excluded from us comes rushing back in. AKA the demons, AKA everything that we made the shadow that we're not okay with is going to come back in as society's values collapse. We're going to see all of these disturbing images, but all hope is not lost. The onslaught of violence, crude sexuality, and wild orgiastic behavior are all symptoms of the process of assimilating contents, which, nonetheless, are called a golden cup in value. This is because the value of the self lies behind them. So, if I get this right, and I'm not a biblical scholar, it's kind of weird in Revelations because they're saying all this stuff is really bad, basically, like crude sexuality and violence and orgiastic behavior, but they're also somehow compared to a golden cup. And that is because we cannot reach the true self if we do not reintegrate these things. This is because the value of the true self lies behind them. One can only hope to not be destroyed before reaching the true self. So you see that word there, self. As I said in my breakdown of the attention video, these videos and the album are about Doja finding her true self. With Doja representing the Scarlet Woman from Revelations, she is being a conduit by which we can see and reintegrate all of the things that society deemed as not okay. As the Jungian shadow self that was created is the thing that holds us back from finding our true self with a capital S. But remember, this isn't just on a personal level that Doja is helping us. She's helping us on a society-wide level because this all affects our collective unconscious. That's why she can put these symbols in the video and not even explain what she's doing. This is working on a subconscious level. But because you guys are interested, I'm sure Doja would be very happy, as I said in my last video, that you're interested in knowing why she's doing this stuff. So as we listen to Scarlet, we may feel at times uncomfortable. There may be things we don't want to see, things we don't want to hear. But in exposing all of these things to us, we are going through a process of enlightenment. That is why we see an eye on the back of Doja's head in Demons. And people are going to say, no, that's the Illuminati. No, that's MK Ultra. No, it's this. No, it's that. All of those things aside, the deeper meaning under all of those things is it's leading us back to truth. And in my personal opinion, how can truth be bad? This is why we see a tattoo of Om on Doja Cat's hand. She's a deeply spiritual person. And this album is a deeply important spiritual album for our planet healing on an unconscious level. Even if the meaning is hidden, it still gets across because she's allowing all of these things that have been repressed to rush back into society. And the planet right now is in a transitionary period. You may not want to become spiritually enlightened. You may say you wish things were the way they were 30 years ago. But that's the thing about evolution. There's kind of no going back. It's kind of a runaway train, if you know what I'm saying. And if you enjoyed this video and it helped you put 2 and 2 together in your mind and you're starting to feel like this album is deep on a level that you couldn't have even conceived of before you saw this video, please do give me a like because more people will see it. If you want to see the video that Doja Cat linked to on our Instagram, you can check it out up here. And if you want to see my track-by-track breakdown, if it's finished, you can check it out right here. Thanks so much and see you in the next one. Peace.